Well, welcome to the second video of Module 1. So hopefully you've learned a little bit about the program and some of the basics of the program. Again, do look over the handbook. It is a valuable resource. But I'm also going to talk about the college catalog, which I referred to in the first video. I do recommend that you download that. It can answer many questions that you have about the college, all contained within there. And then we're also going to go over your plan of study. Each of you received a customized plan of study, and we're going to go over what that means more on an academic advising basis, so you have an idea of how to graduate. And that's, I think, what we all want to know is how we're going to get done with the program. So with that, let's bring up the plan of study and the catalog. So here the kind of the orange Hunter Orange college catalog. We're going to refer to both of these back and forth as we go along. But let's talk about the plan of study that you received. And all of you should have gotten this in your welcome packets. Again, it's customized for each one of you. So, you'll see plan of study 4 in your name. What you see here are all the courses outlined in this section right here on a full-time plan of study required to graduate in 5 semesters. And then you'll see these little red X's. Some of you may have some of you may not. But the red X basically means that these are courses that are not required and have been satisfied with previous coursework that you have taken. So I know some of you have been taking courses for a while in preparation for this program, and some of you have taken some coursework in your associate's programs that we gave you credit for. So if you have some red X's, that's great. If you don't, that's not too bad either. But let's just talk about the full-time plan of study, and then we'll briefly talk about the part-time plan. Again, the choice was yours on which one you wish to do. But in the spring, starting, well, pretty much right now, all of you are taking RAD 300, which is right down here, the Residency Day program, this little mini course, which is a half a credit. And then starting in the first 8 weeks, you'll be doing sectional anatomy and HCA 214 integrated healthcare delivery systems. The structure and layout of the program in general is that most of your courses are 8 weeks long, and you have courses the first 8 weeks and second 8 weeks, a semester being approximately 16 weeks long. A little bit different in the summer, but in general about 16 weeks long. From an advising point of view, I highly caution against ever taking more than 3 courses during any one 8-week period. Reason for that is these 8-week courses, though they're somewhat short, all the information that's contained in these courses, like HCA 214 down here, in 8 weeks, it is a 3 credit hour course. So whether it's 16 weeks long or 8 weeks, it's still the same amount of material. It's just that it goes at a very fast pace. So again, be careful. Only do about 2 at a time is my recommendation. What is nice about the 18-week or the 8-week format that we do with this program and with most of our online programs here at Mercy College is that it allows you to do 2 courses at a time and to manage those 2 courses better. Imagine if you were a traditional student taking 4 or 5 courses simultaneously over a 16-week period. You have to manage due dates for multiple projects, multiple tests and assessments. It can get very complicated. So to simplify it for folks and to make it manageable for your work, life, family, and school balance, the 8-week format works fantastic for that. So you only have to manage 2 courses at a time, and then after the 8 weeks, you're done, and you move on to the next 8-week section. So it makes it very chunkable in these little 8-week chunks. So that's the whole reason behind the 8 weeks that you see on here, the first and second 8 weeks. The full-time plan of study, again, is designed to have you graduate in 5 semesters. I want to draw your attention to a few things. One in here as far as graduation requirements, I'm going to go over to our course catalog here so you can see that and kind of the rationale behind what's going on with uh, the courses that you have to take and why. There is no within the plan of study, there's no fluff. This is to get you graduated to meet the graduation requirements. Over here, you can see in our catalog, in the college catalog on page 39, it will highlight what is required to get a bachelor's degree at Mercy College. So, we're trying to fulfill those minimum requirements and have you meet the program requirements as well. In order to graduate with a bachelor's degree at Mercy College, you need 120 credit hours. That is the minimum. Most of you will graduate with about 120 to maybe 123. You should graduate in the low 120s unless you have some unusual transfer situation where you had a lot of extra credits. But we designed the program to fit into most associate programs for radiologic technology, radiologic science, or nuke med in order to fit into that without having a lot of extra courses that you have to take. So in most cases, most of you graduate with 120 and some change in the credit hours. So you shouldn't have any issues as far as meeting the credit hour requirement. Again, I would go to page 39 in the catalog and look at the bachelor degree requirements. Some of you have already met a majority of these requirements, and now we just need to get you through the program and get you to 120 credit hours. Let's talk about some of the more difficult, or I should say just things to be aware of as we meet your graduation requirements. And the one that's hardest for most students who, especially if your associate's program was not at Mercy College, is the religion requirement. We do have the requirement is that you take 9 credit hours of religious studies to get a degree, to get a bachelor's degree here at Mercy. Everyone with an associate's degree coming to us from Mercy, all associate's degrees programs require 1 religion for 3 credit hours. So I know you already have 3, but there are some of you who are coming into our system from other institutions that have none. So you will have to be careful about getting those scheduled for you throughout your time here at Mercy. Get your religious studies done. It is nice to have those done and to do them as early as possible. When you look at your plan of study, so like say for example this person, they already had enough religion here, so they don't need a religious studies, because they have the red X there. But you can see that it's recommended they take a religious study elective here and one here, and we have some recommendations on which ones to take. Religion 301 or religion 311. And if they, for some reason, didn't get that scheduled, we still got a chance right down here for them to pick up their total of 9 credit hours, which is 3 courses in religion. So again, remember, we do have to have you take the 9 credit hours, and it'll be a total of 3 religion classes for 9 credit hours. The one religion course that you are required to take, and if you read, please do read this, please note down here, is that you must have religion 301, which is medical ethics, and it has to be taught from a Catholic perspective. Very few students come in with this transfer credit, unless you come from a Catholic school, which there are some, but it is very rare that you have medical ethics taught from a Catholic perspective. So again, out of the 9 credit hours of religion that you need, which are 3 classes, one of those classes has to be religion 301 or medical ethics. After that, you can take whatever you want for religion. There's some recommendations such as 311. 101 is very interesting. World religions, very interesting courses. Feel free that we can take whatever you want. most of you want to take online, of course, so we do have to look for those online offerings. But just be aware that when you look at your schedules every semester, I would try to make sure that you know what your religious studies requirement is and try to and we'll get that part done. Okay, enough about religious studies. The don't let the nuns hear me say that, but we'll move on to the humanities requirement. We do require that you have a 300 to 400 level humanities course. Many of you have taken something in your associate's degree program. Could have been a music. I had someone, I think, took history of rock and roll, which was a 300 level course. And if you've met that, fantastic. If not, that's okay too. Those are considered upper level courses, so it's not uncommon for someone with an associate's degree not to have those courses, because normally you do 100 and 200 level courses. So don't be depressed if you didn't have that. It's just a course that you will need to take. We will have one reserved for you this summer if you wish, and that'll be Art 300. And let me just briefly touch upon reserved courses. As you go through the program, there are courses, all of your program courses, anything with RAD in front of it, or HCA, or BUS, those courses are reserved for you. So your medical imaging courses are reserved. Those are the RAD courses. The HCA, which are the healthcare management and administration courses, are going to be reserved for you. There is one course in there, BUS 312, which will be, that's your human resource management, so you know how to manage people if you are in a supervisory role. Those will be reserved. So those courses we really don't need to worry about too much. It's the other ones that you need to make sure that we get done and out of the way in a manner that's convenient with your schedule and work-life balance. So, and this humanities requirement is one of them, that 300 to 400 level humanities course. With that, you have a broad, if you need this course, you have a lot that you can take. If you read down here, the humanities elective is any 300 to 400 level art, communication, English, history, music, psych, soc. We have something called IDS, which is interdisciplinary studies. We have actually humanity courses, or even if you want to, you can take another religion course. The one thing you can't do is double dip. So you can't take, say, Chris, I've already taken my 3 religion courses, and I also want to apply one of those to my humanities course. Well, we can't. That's double dipping. It's counting it twice. It's counting it for your religious studies, and it's also counting it for your humanities. So we can't do that. So, but we have a lot of students who take a religion as a humanities. We just have to make sure that it's that upper level 300 or 400, and that's where your work with me. Make sure that you are taking a course that moves you forward on your degree. Last thing I'd hate to ever have you see is to take a course you really don't need. You can take a course out of personal interest. That's fine, as long as we all know that's what you're doing, and you're aware of that. But I want to make sure that all the courses that you take move you forward on your degree, and your valuable time and money is not wasted. So, work with me. Feel free every semester. We can revisit your plan of study before you register for courses to make sure that you're on the right track. And just as I look at my time here for this video, we are going to have to do this in 2 videos. I'm sorry, but I think academic advising is very important. I don't want to see you make any mistakes as you go through the program. So we are going to have a part 2. Hopefully that'll be all that we'll have here. But let me just, before we end this video about this full-time plan of study, we'll revisit this in the second video. Again, it is a recommendation that you adhere to this. Courses, some of these courses are only offered once a year, so not taking them this year can really put you at a disadvantage in being on track. So do be careful. If you do decide to stray from this plan of study, work with me so we can make sure that you have the best possible path to your graduation. Well, that'll conclude this video. We'll pick it up. We'll finish up academic advising in the second video.